Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Rock. Me clutching my buttocks while trying to hold in a flatulent episode at a dinner party.
I haven't done it yet. I may do it. If this doesn't work out, probably I will do it. I would almost say definitely.
Me off my nut on ketamine in a police cell at 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
This is my idea of a very nice day out.
And this was me saying goodbye to my wife's parents when they finally left after coming to stay with us for Christmas.
Now get out of here, you po-faced pillock, and take this disgusting trollop with you. Go on, bugger off.
Hello guys and welcome to the video. We're going to talk about someone else's video today. The channel we're responding to is a channel of Claire Smith, a fragrance channel, and a very good one. And she's made a video that I'm very excited to give my response to. Interesting, controversial video, and it's called something along the lines of 13 reasons why you shouldn't trust fragrance influencers or something like that. And I tend to agree with a lot of them, but I have a few differences, so stay tuned. And she was talking about tea, yes, or popcorn, or whatever you prefer to munch while you consume dramatic content on YouTube. Get some, guys, get some. Before we do that, don't forget at Norton & Wilson, we have 4 amazing fragrances for you. And we currently have an offer where you can get all 4 in the USA for just $380. Check out Gravitas Essentia, an amazing spring option for you, as are all of them. Okay, let's get stuck into it. Here we go, guys. Okay, so I've stumbled across this video, and I think I've watched like 1 or 2 of her other videos, or parts of them, and it's a channel with about 7,000 subscribers, a lady called Claire Smith, and I think she stands out as one of these very honest reviewers with a full-time, daytime job, so she's not doing it for money, and she's pointed out some of the reasons why we might not trust influencers. How dare you attack us influencers, Claire Smith? I'm one of them and I'm very angry. Actually, I don't like the word influencer, so I consider myself a fragrance YouTuber. Let me know what you think about that. Okay, I'll get straight into it. Some of them I agree, some of them I disagree. 13 reasons is quite a lot, so I'll just pick the ones I found more interesting. So I'll rattle down this list quickly. Oh, one other thing. So she's talking about the way in which many people have an incentive to feature certain products on their channel and point you towards buying them, and that makes the reviews less objective than they might be. You get the general picture, right? And you can't argue with that. So one thing you can do if you'd like to support a YouTuber, or just a way that we YouTubers can get income without in any way harming our integrity, is stuff like Patreon. I've got a Patreon where you can check out my podcast, a new thing, and there's one that you can see on YouTube already and listen to it just on YouTube, but going forward I'll do 1 a week, and you have to go to Patreon, very low joining fee, and you get a weekly podcast from Mr. Smelly, a new thing, very excited. And you can also become a channel member here for exclusive YouTube content. What the latest one that's going up is bands, rock bands and popular musicians that I actually hate, controversial stuff, and only for you members. Other perks too, you get live streams are going to stay up for the members to watch after they've happened, which they won't do on the general channel for the other peasants who don't pay money to be my channel members. I'm just joking. And you also get a nice little badge when you comment on a live stream, so I think live stream viewers will really enjoy the membership thing. Okay, let's get stuck into it. I've linked to the video from Claire Smith, and good channel. She seems a very articulate English lady, and I liked the way she presented it very well. No sort of bells and whistles, no fancy production, but decent quality and very, very articulate, and I think it's intelligent, erudite lady. So let's get stuck into it. 13 reasons not to trust fragrance influencers. 1, everyone has different taste. Okay, this one not so fascinating yet, obviously. So someone might really like fragrance, and you might not like it. I think we can all agree on that one. Not so controversial. Get it right? Good point. No one would disagree. 2, anyone can make a video. Very true. So anyone can get a camera, and they might be really good on screen, but it doesn't mean they know more about fragrances than you, or that their nose is any better, or that they're right and you're wrong if you like a certain fragrance. So yeah, of course, most of the skill of getting views on YouTube is to do with understanding the algorithm and making videos people want to watch. There are many people with big channels. We don't know if they really know loads about fragrances, and even if they do, remember they still can have different tastes. So yeah, anyone can make these videos. They're not gods. Maybe some of you think Mr. Smelly is really a very, very illustrious figure with an incredible history of years of training in how to smell fragrances and give an opinion. Well, I'm not. Okay, moving on. 3, she mentioned Fragrantica. So, I mean, well, one thing, just go on Fragrantica and you can maybe get a clearer idea of different people's opinions of stuff. But she also says, I think maybe alluded to the fact some people maybe give unfair reviews on Fragrantica, but also people doing YouTube videos can just go and get all the notes of Fragrantica and then claim they smell this and that. And I think that was her kind of point. But again, that point didn't grab me so much. Here was one I found very interesting, though. Point 4 of her 13, positive reviews do better, she said. So there's more incentive for reviewers generally to be positive about things because people online are generally looking for recommendations of a good fragrance. So that, if you do 10 great fragrances, obviously if you've included 10 brilliant fragrances for spring in a list, they're all going to be good. And people would like to see a video like that. And if you review a fragrance and say, the best fragrance I've ever smelled, that makes people want to watch it because people are looking maybe for a recommendation. I'm not sure I totally agree with her, though. So she says, people maybe don't want to stay watching a video about something that's bad because there's no point because, I know it's bad. I think if you're really good at it, a negative review can be really good. I watch all kinds of different content and stuff where you're angry about something and saying this sucks and I'm so disgusted with this fragrance and it's so overpriced and I just don't understand what kind of person. I think if you were really clever about it, and I'm hoping to do this a bit with some more modern releases that I don't care for, you could do really good, at least some of your content being negative reviews, and maybe that can work. So I don't totally agree that positive reviews will always do better. What do you think? I think a negative review or someone who gives a lot of them, that could be a really good thing if you're lucky enough and strong enough and independent enough to take the fact that the people whose fragrances you review and don't like won't be that happy about it and won't ever give you any money. So I'm going to maybe do some reviews like that because there's plenty of fragrances I'm not that bothered about. So I slightly disagree with her on that point. All right, Claire Smith, I'm sorry. Number 5. Now we get into the real meat of it. So 5, brand collaborations. Okay, so we've heard about this from Ashton from GentSense too, and she did mention him. People pay YouTubers to make videos for them. Okay, yes, this is true. And sometimes they may say this is a paid collaboration, but very often they probably don't. How can we know? Okay, so but YouTubers who are getting to the point where they want to make money out of this and do it for a living and not have to get up and scrape the ice off their car or get on a train and commute to work every day, want to sit at home and make YouTube videos. Of course, if people are offering them, we'll give you $300 to make a video about our fragrance that we're going to send you, you're going to like that, aren't you? And there's going to be a huge temptation. Is it such a terrible lie? And you'll probably convince yourself, well, I do really like the fragrance anyway. And at the end of the day, I've got to be honest, very few fragrances smell awful. I don't smell many things that I really dislike. So it's not that hard to say you really like a fragrance, even though you've just been paid money to do that. But in your own mind, you're not really lying anyway, so where's the harm? Almost all fragrances, I don't care for 1 Million by Paco Rabanne much, it's not my thing, but it doesn't smell bad, and if Paco Rabanne sent me loads of money to say good things about that fragrance, not that they've offered to, I'm sure part of me would wonder maybe I should do it. So I completely get it. So of course, some people are being paid, and you're not knowing that, just directly, here's some money, here's our fragrance, put a video up for us and we'll be happy with you. Next up, point 6, she says affiliate links. So she mentions that people may be getting 10 or 15% from people to send you to buy this fragrance, okay? And I've no doubt that is absolutely true. And of course, therefore, there's a great incentive for people to include those fragrances in their videos, in their lists, and send you to them buy the fragrances, and that's how they get money. And therefore, affiliate links are going on all the time. It's another way people make money. Again, I don't have any affiliate links. I very rarely get sent free things. Sometimes I do. Nobody pays me to actually make a video about a fragrance. That's not happened to me. So I am kind of, I'm kind of independent. So if you like independent, honest reviewers, you might want to consider subscribing to my channel and watching more of my content. I do try and get money out of this thing too, but the Patreon, I'm trying to push that a bit now. Channel membership, maybe super chats on live stream. I have my own fragrance brand. I'm doing it in a way that doesn't affect my integrity. Okay, so I don't have affiliate links. Okay, so affiliate links are a reason that people are maybe not totally impartial in deciding what fragrances to talk about And that's pretty much a no-brainer. So she's totally right there. I agree with her. Good point. Thank you for pointing out. It was a very well put together video, maybe for someone new to the hobby, just to say, watch out for this. You know, I think it's a good video. Go and subscribe to Claire Smith's channel. Next, number 7, she says multi-brand retailer affiliate links. So that's instead of actually being paid by the fragrance brand itself, you maybe have an affiliate link for a website that sells hundreds of different fragrances. And, you know, I think that's a bit fairer because, you know, then you could still say I was sent these 5 fragrances by fragrancebyplace.com or whatever they might be called, right? And you could say, you know, I liked these 3, but I thought these 2 were crap. And the brand might still be happy because you're still sending everyone to their site to buy whatever fragrances it may be. So maybe you can still be a bit more honest. But she also pointed out that she was surprised when a non-UK fragrance subscription site, I think is where you get like a little sample of 5 different things each month or whatever, offered to give her some money to feature them on her channel, which is, you know, fair enough, right? But they were in the USA, I think she said. And she said, well, how can I possibly endorse something that I can't possibly use or try out your service because I'm not in the country where you operate? And I can see her point there, although I would kind of say, to be honest with you, if they are a site where they give a subscription and they offer certain fragrances, I mean, I actually used to have a sponsorship with myfragrancesamples.com in the USA. Now, I can see what fragrances they offer on their site. I can see the prices. And, you know, unless they are not sending those fragrances to people or somehow it's not what it seems, I think it's fair that I could say, yeah, I do endorse that because it looks like they've got a great range of fragrances and the prices seem very reasonable. And I knew the person who operated it and I knew a few people who said, you know, he's a great guy and everything. So I kind of disagree that you can't have a sponsorship with someone in a different country. I think you can do that, but what do you think about that? I think it's okay because, you know, unless something really weird's going on, they are pretty much what they seem, these subscription sites. You can look at their range of fragrances and the price. I assume the products arrive in good shape within the time span that most customers expect. So, you know, I think that's legit. I think it's okay. But yeah, what do you think? I disagree with her slightly on that point. Number 8, gifted fragrances. So some people, they might not be getting paid, but they get sent a free fragrance, gifted bottles, okay? And that's obviously going to give them an incentive to be nice about that fragrance. First of all, because if someone gives you something free, human nature, you don't want to say it's garbage for a lot of people. Secondly, you probably want to keep getting free bottles, maybe just because you like getting fragrances to add to your collection. So if you want to keep that relationship going with that brand and keep getting free bottles, maybe if there are releases that people are excited to hear about, gives you videos that your viewers are excited to see because you're featuring the latest release, you want that to keep happening. But if you say that the fragrance is really bad, most companies won't want to send you any more. That is a fair point. So she's got a very good point there. Also, you know, people probably do review these things and then a few months later or maybe the day after sell them on eBay or Facebook groups. So you can also literally, you know, if you get £150 worth of niche fragrance, you can sell it for 100 and you're giving someone a bargain and you're getting money and you've done a review and, you know, it's a win-win-win-win. So yeah, it does compromise people's integrity and it goes on a lot. It goes on a lot. I'm not saying there's this crime of the century, but she's got a great point, okay? Yes, indeed. Surprise, surprise. Newsflash. Influencer. As soon as anyone is called an influencer, of course, that basically means they're essentially advertising or prompting people, influencing them to buy stuff, basically, right? And therefore, you've got to take that well and truly into consideration when you watch their videos. I don't think that means people are charlatans or shocking. You know, they're probably going to describe things reasonably okay too, if they're any good at it. But take it into consideration. But to me, fragrance reviews is a bit like reviewing ice cream or something. I've almost never tasted a terrible, horrible tasting ice cream, even if it's a really cheap one from the local supermarket with the lowest quality ingredients you can imagine. It's not going to taste terrible. You know, I might prefer the strawberry ice cream from my local gelato boutique or whatever to the Asda supermarket one. But the Asda supermarket one still tastes pleasant, reasonably, you know, more pleasant than a Brussels sprout. So to say, oh, it's nice, I'm not really lying, am I? That's the problem with fragrances. They mostly smell nice. So no one's really lying massively when they promote stuff, when they say it's good, because all fragrances are almost all good, right? What do you think about that? That's what I think. But I try to be more objective, and I don't have a business model where I get sent a lot of free stuff or paid to say things are good, whether they're good or not. So aren't I good? Here we go. Number 9. This is a good one. So the influencer thing and these people with the huge collections behind them, it promotes overconsumption. It does, because I maybe need 500 fragrances because I'm running a YouTube channel. But that doesn't mean that's your goal as a viewer who just maybe enjoys watching videos and collecting them a bit. Maybe, you don't, no one needs 500 fragrances. How many of these fragrances get used regularly? How many of them will start to turn and go off a bit before I actually get anywhere near using the bottle? So it does indeed promote overconsumption of commodities that we really don't need that many of. And I think I cannot deny that is completely correct. And she had a picture, it looks almost like a bit of Clement CC's video of the YouTube where she did all her fragrances. It went kind of viral, and someone had a go at her on TikTok or Instagram and said that's bad that she's got, she's so privileged with so many fragrances, which she's not an overprivileged person. And she was upset by this, but it went viral for her and got her loads of viewers. But so, yeah, we always get that leveled at us, maybe people with big collections or promoting all the latest fragrances. It promotes overconsumption of essentially a non-essential product, a luxury product, basically, that most people can be perfectly great in life with 2 or 3 of. So I've got to hand it to her there, true. Not too many to go now, so different. Okay, last few didn't really grab me too much. Last couple did, kind of thing. She said, yeah, for YouTubers who get sent fragrances by other influencers, e.g. maybe when Navitus were doing it with various YouTubers, if you've got your own Navitus line of fragrances, as numerous big YouTubers did, and you get sent someone else's to review, well, of course, you're clearly not going to be feeling very comfortable about saying bad things about it. And also if you are rude, even if you don't have a Navitus fragrance, but you're rude about other people's fragrance, whether it be Navitus or whoever, you're going to become a bit of an outcast in the fragrance community. And there's a sense of don't ruin this for everybody. Nobody's ever going to work with you or help you network and all. You want to be kind of on good terms with most of your colleagues. I'm not really with any of them, but there is a big incentive not to say anything bad about anyone else, an influencer's release. So they're all going to be gushing over how wonderful all the other influencers' releases are. She's kind of got a point there, really, hasn't she? So what do you think about that? Please go and subscribe to her channel. I do think from what I've seen, she seems like a really a good person to check out for very honest and objective reviews. And I thought this was a thought-provoking video on topics, of course, we've heard about before and covered before. I'm wearing Valentino Uomo today, 2015 release, I think. Wonderful. A little bit like Dior on the original, and it's the same perfumer, Olivier Polge, with a little twist of nutmeg and hazelnut and chocolate. How lovely. Do not forget, sign up for channel membership if you want to support me and see exclusive content, and go and check out the first Patreon, the first podcast can be seen on YouTube, but from now on, you want to see more every week, go to my Patreon. Just search Mr. Smelly on Patreon on the links down there. I will leave it at that for today. What did you think about that video? See you in the next one. Bye-bye.